Hey, welcome back. Another big final theory. We've got Tottenham Hotspur versus Liverpool in Champions League final in Madrid 2019. Suj, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Just with the wrong teams in the final, but nonetheless, I'm doing okay.
Speaking about the wrong team in the final, I think someone owes somebody an apology about who they were guessing were going to win the Europa final.
Yes, that is correct. I was completely wrong. Damn it. I knew I hated Arsenal. This just confirmed why I hate them.
but yeah, but I mean, I want to say it was a sad state of affairs. Let's just quickly talk a little bit about that final. Yeah, it was actually terribly boring, I found, and maybe I'm just biased, but it's weird. Like Arsenal had absolutely nothing, and the best part of the final was waking up the next morning with a massive hangover, and then knowing I'm gonna look forward to some nice episodes of Arsenal fan TV.
Yeah, they always seem to live up to expectation when things like this happen.
Yeah, shame. In one of the videos, TT, the guy who's like the most famous of all those fans there, he was like ranting, telling them shit like it was awful, and then some dude in the background was like, "Oh, you're doing it for hits, you're doing it for clicks," and then he just lays into him so badly, F's and B's, like some of the swear words I didn't even know exist in the English language. It was very entertaining. But out of that, Suj Hazard, yeah,
Probably on his way out now.
yeah, he said something at the end there where he says like, yeah, that's probably time. He's just like, yo, okay, what does that mean? But he's not the only one, eh? I believe Sari as well. Well, the rumor is going around that he's agreed personal terms with Juventus, and Juventus let go of Massimo Allegri.
Wow.
Yeah. So do you think Allegri is gonna come in the other direction?
Perhaps, yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Because I mean, Sari, that would be a brilliant move from Sari because it's like, yeah, I had a totally shit season, but I still won the Europa.
It's weird that he wants to go. I mean, usually coaches who win at least a European trophy with their teams are generally going to stay on.
Yeah, I think you're completely wrong about that because I know another Chelsea manager that did the same thing. Mourinho, Champions League final, goodbye Porto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I think that was actually agreed before he won the Champions League, so a bit of an unfair
I
thing there.
won a while ago, and since then,
Yeah, no, it generally doesn't happen. Unless you count Di Matteo win a Champions League and then gets fired. There's that too.
yeah, Chelsea, they do things very weirdly, you can't just look at it at face value.
Yeah, they might do things weirdly, and then Arsenal might claim they do things the best, but yeah, their way it doesn't work either.
Let me go on a rant about Arsenal a little bit here. If I was an Arsenal fan, I cannot understand how the fact that you know that your worst enemy, Tottenham, are in the Champions League final, and the fact that if you don't win this, you're not going to have money to spend in the league, which will put you back into Europa, which will put you back how many millions of pounds in spending. I mean, all that put together, surely a better showing than what they did for after the... Look, the first 20 minutes, they seemed to have a handle on the game. And then it just went to shit after the first goal. So I don't really understand what's going on there, and I don't understand how they couldn't have been more motivated to win that game.
Yeah, and all this, and no irony or hint of hypocrisy in his voice as a Man United fan. Yeah, but yeah, you are completely right. I think football is going through. I bet you there'll be a football crash sometime soon. You know, like I don't see Chelsea improving. I don't see United improving. I don't see Arsenal improving. Uh, City and Liverpool will probably title challenge again next season, and I think Spurs, unless Spurs win this final, they might very well also drop off. I think they are in the similar position to Arsenal, in the sense that they need to win this to get some real money, to get some real players. I don't believe that they deliberately chose not to buy players this season. You know, I think it was a like austerity measure, if I can use an EU term, to keep their costs low But surely, if they were to win, even if without winning, Spurs have gone pretty far. I mean, they actually came this far. You would think the players would be like, right, I want to get paid more, or I want an actual hope of actually winning the title. You know?
Yeah. Because, I mean, they've got a new stadium that they just moved into, and this will go a long way to paying off that stadium a bit. And surely if the players buy into this thing of, we've got a new stadium, we've got a settled manager, we now will have money to spend, to buy, to strengthen, and winning the Champions League would generally mean that you're going to challenge for the title also.
Yes, exactly.
So it's a big game for these zones, but all biased aside, I still see Liverpool not winning this game.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But okay, since we are talking about Liverpool, they've had, despite not winning the league, they've had a great season, eh?
Fantastic.
I mean, they made not like in any other season, this would have been a title-winning thing. And the irony is that not irony, but the only thing that stopped them was City, literally. If they had not lost that game to City, they would have been champions right now.
Fair enough. And if you could have said also with the uselessness of United this season, surely that game that they drew against United, those are 2 points just laying around doing nothing. You'd expect it to go either way against City because, I mean, they're your main title rivals. But United this season have been so crappy, surely, and Liverpool been so good, surely they should have beaten United.
That's true. But let's move on to who you think the key players are going to be. So I'm going to take a wild guess, and where everyone might talk about Salah, I get the feeling you'll talk about just one person.
Here comes the money. Here we go.
That's right. Show me the money. I love money from that team, to be honest with you. I know Salah's got skills, but money, I don't know, when he turns it on properly.
But I was reading something about some sort of history making. I'm like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's currently 6 players who scored 2 goals or more in a Champions League final. And since Mane scored in the last Champions League final against Real Madrid, where they lost, if he scores in this one, he goes into that elite group.
Wow.
I mean, think about it. He came from Southampton to Liverpool into 2 Champions League finals and losing the league by a point.
Van
Dijk should be feel really proud about what they've been doing in this team.
Yeah. To me, I still feel Van Dijk has been their best player, but I mean, you are completely correct about Mane. Is that on top of it, he in this season he's taken over from Salah being the talisman.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how far they'll go. I mean, look, at least Liverpool, I'm looking at the possible lineups quickly. Let's just go through the lineups that I've managed to find here. We've got, for Liverpool, we've got Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Matip. Matip's going to be terrible. Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson, Wijnaldum, Salah, Firmino, and Mane. What do you think of that lineup?
Just a win, Champions League, number 6.
Okay, fair enough. Tottenham's lineup: Lloris, Trippier, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Rose. Ooh, I'm surprised with Rose. Winks, Sissoko, Eriksen, Ali, Son, and Kane. Well, Kane might not necessarily be there, to be honest. I mean, Pochettino has been very coy about whether or not Kane will make it.
Well, he did travel, so
yeah, that's like a good hint, right?
Yeah.
But in those 2 lineups, okay, of course you'll say, okay, Liverpool are at full strength, but you don't think this loss of the Premier League is gonna affect them at all?
No, not at all. These are the professionals, man. They know that thing's over now, and this is the last chance for a cup. And they've been one final before, so.
Okay.
Well, look, Spurs, let me just see the record for Spurs here. This will be Spurs' 5th European final, a Cup Winners' Cup, 3 UEFA Cups, but this is the first time in the Champions League. Wow!
but actually they have won a UEFA Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, which was when?
1984.
1984. Yeah, okay.
It's a while back, eh, Spurs. That's why it's so big for them, and I think they might get overthemed with all this expectation and pressure.
Yeah, they're fair enough. Let me read some of these little stats here. Liverpool are seeking their 6th European Cup, their 2nd Champions League triumph, But I'm like, wait a minute, what do they mean second Champions League triumph? Haven't they been in more finals than that? And then I remember, oh right, they lost the final to AC Milan in 2007, and they lost a final to Real Madrid, right? And that actually brought me up onto something. The other factor which I think we're not considering as to who's going to win the title here, right? Let me just try and play this short clip that I was listening to on YouTube. Hold on a second.
Heard from Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson. Jurgen Klopp's was particularly interesting. He was asked about his record in finals. He's lost 6 in a row, but he said that isn't bothering him.
So I'm probably the moment world record holder in the last 7 years at least in winning semi-finals. If I would see myself as a...
I also like him, dude. I like... There was that chance that he was going to sign for United when people don't maybe not remember this, but there was a time when we were kind of looking at him, but then they just like gave up interest in him.
Lucky didn't.
Yeah, it's but I mean, but he's funny and he's entertaining, and I mean, but that record of his, Suj, I mean,
Look,
dude, the last time he won a cup final, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, it's going to be like the South African cricket players. Eventually, they're going to have to win one of these things. That they can't make so many finals and not win.
No, yeah, you're right. And the best way to start off, like to change that record, is to get absolutely smashed by England. Well done, South Africa. So there's a little tidbit in there. Bugger them, I'm supporting India. And we know you're Australia, wait.
No.
Yeah. So, I was going to go back to the last final that Klopp actually won. 2012 German Cup final against Bayern. Ooh, that was a big one. And then, of course, in that time, he won 3 Bundesliga titles, right? But since then, lost the Champions League final against Bayern in 2013. Lost the German Cup final to Bayern again. Lost another German Cup final 2015 to Wolfsburg. 2016 League Cup final, they lost to City on penalties. Europa, the Europa final in 2016, I was like, what? They lost to Sevilla.
Yeah.
And of course, they lost the Real Madrid one.
So two with Liverpool. I don't
yeah.
expect that he can take 2 different teams to all these finals.
Yeah. But Pochettino's not much better. I've actually closed that page.
He hasn't even made a major final.
Yeah, well, until now, obviously. So, but to be honest, like, I mean, again, I'm obviously biased against Liverpool, but I would love to see a Spurs win it, you know? A new winner.
Yeah, in fairy tale land, that would be fantastic. But you know what tips in Liverpool's favour is the fact that they scored like 31 goals in the last 15 minutes of games in 2018-19. Well, with 6 coming in the Champions League. So these are the things that the weekend defense get because of tiredness is the better Liverpool start playing.
Yeah.
Or even better, should I say, because they come out like a house on fire anyway.
Yeah, they do. It's going to be an interesting final. But I find what's even more interesting is some of the comments from the pundits who are predicting. And so we have like Alan Shearer here. There's an article titled Alan Shearer picks which of Liverpool or Tottenham will edge the Champions League final. Let me see if I can get to his quote. So he says like on form, he like obviously talks up Liverpool. He says on form, Klopp's side should beat Spurs. They did do the double over them in the league this season, and there are not too many Spurs players who would actually get into the Liverpool side. Then he says, but one thing's for sure, I'm tipping a team from England to win the final. No, I'm talking shit. I made it up. He actually said he's... No, I'm talking shit. He didn't say that. He said he tipped Liverpool. I just want to say he tipped Liverpool.
I don't. Look, unless football life happens and a couple of red cards fly around, you know, or something goes wrong, you know, I really can't see past Liverpool win. It's just that Tottenham can do it. They'll keep their shape and they'll not concede maybe early. But once Liverpool get the first one, I don't see these ones counter-attacking. Maybe Spurs get the first one and the second one and the third one.
Yeah, but we can't put this over. We can't put any of this to pasture without talking about how during the Champions League tournament, both of these teams, the spectacular way in which they arrived in the final,
Yeah.
you could argue that Liverpool had a tougher time of it, but I mean, the fact is, Spurs, nobody thought they would get anywhere, even when they got to that semi against Ajax. Like, even though with Barcelona having been, 4-0 up, no one said, no one thought Liverpool have absolutely no chance. Do you know what I mean? Like, they thought they might still have a chance. Whereas with Spurs, I think when people said, no, Ajax, they're gone. After Ajax had beaten Real, they thought, nah, and Juventus, they thought, like, no, there's no way Spurs are going to get past. And somehow Spurs managed to pull it out. And I mean, I'm actually thinking that if Kane starts, then I think they'll definitely lose. They should but I mean, it might be sounding funny, but I really think that when they've played a little better without him.
Yeah, he should be impacting the last 15 minutes or something.
Yeah. Maybe just use the specter of him to kind of, force Klopp to change some of his tactics, early in the game or something.
Yeah.
But other than that, I want to go against the grain this time and say, you know what, I think Spurs are going to win this final.
And I will use my weird reasoning of supporting Liverpool so they can prove me right by losing. I'll just play it out. Football-wise, Liverpool is the better team. They have the better players. They have more to achieve in this game here.
Yeah.
They've beaten these zones too many times. The only way they can lose is if Spurs come out and, I don't know, really, really go at them. I don't think that is Spurs' game, man.
Yeah. No, for sure. Look, I think Liverpool, they've lost just once in the last 14 times these teams have met since 2013. In total, they've met 170 times in all competitions. The Reds winning 79 to Spurs 48, and they've been 43 draws. That's why I'm saying Liverpool might. That's why I'm saying Spurs are gonna win the Champions League. I didn't say they were gonna win the match. I think it's gonna be a lacquer 2-2, and then goes to penalties, and then Mane is gonna step up and totally slot his one, and then Salah will miss his.
4-1 Liverpool.
Okay. Okay, that's a good night. Okay, let's leave it at that. And so where are you going to be watching the final?
Oh, one more thing before we go. Can we just discuss one more topic? I just want to ask you, obviously, if whoever wins this final here, the Ballon d'Or winner has to come from one of these teams, because it's just been like that with Europa, with the Champions League all the time.
Right.
Who would choose? Okay, I don't know if it's going to come from Liverpool. I obviously think it would come from there. But who would you choose as the Ballon d'Or winner?
Virgil van Dijk.
I would have to agree with that one also.
To me, he's the first defender since
Cannavaro?
Cannavaro, yes, Cannavaro. I thought Cannavaro was a brilliant defender, and so has Van Dijk has been. And you know what? I won't be surprised if I see Van Dijk scoring in the final.
Yeah. So there we go.
But Spurs will still win it.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So that's it for this season, I guess. After this, we're just gonna be enjoying some cricket. I'll put enjoying in quotes. But yes, guys, if you like this new format where we are talking to a graphic instead of video, you must let us know and subscribe if you really like what we're doing. And we're still looking for some feedback. We're definitely gonna be looking into changing some things for next season, trying to streamline some stuff, maybe split out the idea where we do our captains and then do the kind of like talk about the news, just to make the episodes a bit shorter, because that's some of the feedback I've received already. But other than that, enjoy the Champions League final wherever you are. Don't get too drunk, and don't drink and drive as well.
And just remember, you'll never walk alone.
Well, I never will walk alone, because the Uber is the first thing I will open up. Not in Cape Town, my friend. You don't walk around on the streets alone. Anyway, cheers.
Cheers.